Wow. Oh my God. What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a full face of makeup from KIMCHI Beauty. KIMCHI is blowing up right now, especially on TikTok. Like, I cannot get on that app without seeing someone talk about a product, doing a review, a wear test, something. And I got suckered in, okay? I'm pretty gullible. So I've got the concealer, setting spray, setting powder, and I've got some cheek products. I've got the blushes, highlighter, and bronzer. I don't have their foundation. I actually want to save that for a separate video because I didn't want to put the foundation in here, which would be a base for all these other products I've not tested yet, and I don't know how they wear. I'm not familiar with them, but that's coming. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe, stick around, turn the notification bell on, all that good stuff. The channel is all about drugstore and affordable beauty and just balling on a budget. So yeah, if you guys want to see an all-day wear test and a brutally honest review, I'm not paid, sponsored, or affiliated in any way with KIMCHI, then keep on watching. I have an eye product today, so I'm not really sure why I sat down with nothing on my eyes. So I'll probably use their bronzer and maybe their highlighter for my eyes. So let's do it, why not? But this is the Thailor bronzer. This is in the shade I went to Malibu, I believe. All their packaging is heart-shaped, and this one came broken and with a big old hole in the middle. So it's got like a hole in its heart. It's heartbroken. Oh my God. Actually, because I don't like to waste, I'm just going to pick up some from my desk. So here's what the shade I went to Malibu looks like. So it's a really nice shade, like it's a really nice tone. It's not too warm or anything. So let's put it back here. It's flat matte, like there's no shimmer or sheen whatsoever. So there's what that looks like. So I'm having no blending issues whatsoever in terms of using as eyeshadow. Like, it is blending on so dreamy. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and do my eyeliner, mascara, and eyebrows, and we'll come back and we will start with the face. So I'll be right back. I'm back with pretty much my entire face done. I realized that I had to go up to my foundation before I can move on to the rest of my stuff. So yeah, mascara, eyeliner, eyebrow gel, foundation, we're good to go. So this is the Most concealer. So this was $12.49 on the CVS website. And at CVS, they have 4 shades. They are doing the Lord's work. But I will say on the KIMCHI website, they have a lot more. So let's see. Did they not say how many there are? Do I have to really count them all? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 32 shades. They go pretty dark. They do go pretty light. And then they also have color correctors and a white where you can mix it in and lighten your stuff. So I think it's pretty good. So yeah, it says it has a brush applicator that allows for the concealer to go on easily and smoothly, even in hard to reach spots. Has a matte and satin hybrid finish that will last all day and has a whopping 18 grams of product. That's the first thing I noticed about this. It's pretty large and in charge. This is the LA Girl HD Pro Concealer, which is 8 grams of product. So that's 8 versus 18. So I feel like that's a good amount, especially for the price. I got light beige and medium beige. Something I noticed when I was picking them out is that they run very, very light. Like, I'm not medium beige in anything, especially for under eye concealer, which I tend to, you know, go more on the light side, like 1 shade lighter than my skin tone. That's pretty fair. So yeah, it just has a brush tip applicator like it says. So I think that's nice. I don't really have a problem with that. So here is medium beige, and even that, I feel like it's a little bit too light for me. And here is light beige, which I didn't even try because, I mean, medium beige was already light enough. So yeah, medium beige on the bottom and light beige on top. So yeah, they run very fair. So I've got my warm damp sponge, and I don't have any foundation under my eyes, or I tried to leave it as clear as I could. There might be a little bit of residue from my foundation, but I feel like I can still see my dark circles in all their glory. I'm just gonna go into my sponge from the back of my hand where I swatched it and go ahead and start applying this. And I've seen numerous people on TikTok say that this is the best concealer they've ever tried, so I've had really, really high hopes for it. I have high hopes for a living. Look how light that is though. That's medium beige. So a little bit does go a very long way. I literally only used what I'd swatched out in the back of my hand, which I didn't really feel like that was even that much, but it went on both eyes all the way under. I would say this is about 4 shades lighter than my skin tone, and it's still covering my dark circles with literally 1 layer. Like, I'm not gonna build this up. I'm not gonna apply it anymore. I will say though, I feel like it's kind of like darkening up a little bit, like as it's sitting on my skin. It's not looking as bright and stark as it was before. And I've still got leftover on the back of my hand, so that's pretty nice. Up close, it doesn't look too matte. It doesn't look too drying. It's not emphasizing of like my milia right through here under my eyes. It's not, you know, settling into creases yet. So I'm gonna leave this like unset for a little while we move on to my cheek products, and we'll come back and see if it's creased or done anything weird. So let's go ahead and move on. Moving back to the bronzer. Start back here and just kind of stipple. I'll probably have to go on both sides of my face because that was quite a bit. And once again, I feel like a little bit goes a long way. So yeah, it's a nice tone, not too warm, not orangey. Blended on very, very well, especially considering my base is still kind of tacky. So yeah, so far so good. Now for blush. So this is the, I don't know if they're pronouncing it Thailor or Taylor. I'm just gonna say Thailor, I don't know. But I got two shades, Pinky and Cheeky. On their website, they have a very, very good shade selection. I feel like pretty much everyone could find something that would work for their skin tone. So yeah, here's Pinky. This is the lighter one. So yeah, it's just a light pink and a light peach on one side. Here is Cheeky, which is kind of that like purpley undertone, rosy pink. So let's start with Pinky. So this is the lighter one. I will say that each side is big enough to where if you had a big fluffy brush, you could pinpoint into one. But I'm just going to just double dip and just get both of them on there. Once again, these are matte. There is no shimmer to them. Actually, wait, I should probably swatch them. There is the Pinky Duo. Do a little double swatch right here. So there we go. Here's the Cheeky Duo. So there we go. Back here. So they're pretty similar. So once again, very, very pigmented. A little bit goes a very long way. I feel like I'm in clown territory. If you have oily skin or if you like just matte everything, I think you'll love this line. So I'm gonna go back into my sponge with no extra product and just kind of tap around the edges and try to fade it and dull the intensity just a little bit. So it did build up very, very fast, but I feel like it blended out really well too. It was just very soft and buttery and stuff. So yeah, there's what Pinky looks like. So once I've done the dulling down a little bit, it looks really, really pretty. Okay, I'm a little scared of this one, not gonna lie. Just gonna do boop. Oh my gosh, a lot of fallout in the pan. So there is what Cheeky looks like. And once again, I was dipping into both shades. I wasn't pinpointing one or the other. So there's what it looks like before I go in and do my little like fading with my sponge. So let's do the exact same thing and just kind of blend around the blush. Yeah, I think if you have a deeper skin tone, you'll definitely like this one. Or if you like more of that like Dior purpley blush kind of tone, it's definitely got that purpley undertone to it and that vibrancy. So I think I personally like Pinky better. Yeah, pretty, nice blend, nice and soft. Now for highlighter. This is the Thailor, again, it could be Taylor, I don't know. Thailor Get Glow highlighter. Yeah, there are both of those shades. So very buttery, very soft. I feel like the consistency amongst all the products they're very on par. There's what that looks like. Let's see what they look like together. So here's what it looks like when they're mixed together. So let's do it on my hand up here. So yeah, just a little more neutralized when you mix them together. So let's do one shade on each side and then we'll mix them together at the end. So let's start off with that lighter shade. Normally I can't wear anything that's too icy, so I'm always a big critic of really icy highlighters on my skin tone because it usually doesn't really work, but that is super blinding, very, very beamy, very pigmented. There is pretty detectable shimmer in here, so if you're someone that has like crow's feet out here or a lot of wrinkles in that area, peach fuzz, texture, acne, it will definitely emphasize that. Now obviously there are things you can do with your setting spray, like there are some tricks you can do to make it look more meshed in and more creamy and not as emphasizing. I'm gonna refer you to this video up here, it will change your life. Yeah, there's what the icy side looks like. Even though it's not quite the shade that I usually like to go for, it still looks pretty dang good. It's got really pretty glow and sheen and dewiness too. Like even though it's pretty shimmery, I feel like when it's all said and done, it'll just look very glowy. So let's do the more golden shade on this side. These are so pretty. So yeah, that one's definitely more up my alley. That's a little more warm, a little more skin tone like for me. So once again, very nice formula, very buttery, super pretty glow, dewiness, reflectiveness. Like it's a really good powder highlighter so far. So yeah, now let's go ahead and mix the two together. So I'm just gonna do the golden one on this side and the icy one on this side and try to make it look a little more symmetrical. Oh my God, we are beaming. Yeah, if you like a super intense highlight, you will definitely like these. Let's go back to my concealer and let's check that out. So I do have some creasing and some like settling and kind of creation of fine lines directly under my lashes right there. So this is something for me that I would definitely have to set or at least do my little setting spray hack, which once again, check it out up here. So now moving on to the setting powder. So this is the Puff Puff Pass Set and Bake Powder. I got the shade Translucent and I actually got this on Amazon a while back. So they have a couple different things on Amazon, not the entire line, but just a couple things. But this is $19, but I will say they have mini versions of this, which are 12, which I would actually prefer because I'll never go through this. And plus it's kind of bulky. So if you're someone that, you know, you have a smaller collection or if you have a larger collection and you just have limited space, then you might enjoy the smaller one better. So that's what I would do personally. Here's the Translucent. So let's go back here. So again, I've heard so many people say that this is the absolute best setting powder they've ever used, that it takes their makeup into the wee hours of the night. Like, it's really good for sweating and oily skin and just prolong the wear of your makeup. So I've had really high hopes for this one. Had to have high hopes for a living. Yeah, it's very blurring. It's definitely super mattifying, so it's not one that leaves any kind of like glow or luminosity behind. But my pores are super filled in, super softened. I feel like my skin overall looks very like soft focused and very airbrushed. So yeah, I feel like if you have really oily skin, you're gonna love this. If you have dry skin though, I don't know if you'd like this powder. Oh, I forgot to mention this. I have pretty much normal skin. Like, I don't really get super oily or super dry. I do have acne prone skin and large pores. So I've got the symptoms of oily skin, but not really the oiliness of it. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna go into the highlighter and put this in my inner corner for an inner corner highlight. So let's see, let's take that golden shade first and just put it right here. Really been enjoying just doing a bronzer in the crease and an inner corner highlight. Like, I feel like it looks very like that girl. So there is the gold shade by itself. So I feel like I need a little more pizzazz. I'm gonna go into that white shade and put, oh, there we go. There we go. So yeah, that mixture is very bright, very pretty and glowy, so I like it. Now let's do some setting spray. So yeah, this is the one that I feel like I've heard probably the most about for the longest amount of time. This is the Stage Proof Matte Setting Spray. This is $16 on their website. So let's go ahead and douse myself in this. So our time is 106, but we'll say 105 just to remember it better. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn down my ISO so you can see texture and pores and finish and all that stuff as best as we can. So I'm gonna do a little slow-mo. I feel like I look overall very, very smooth, very airbrushed. Like, I feel like this is something that is gonna look really good on camera especially, but in person, I mean, I feel the same way about it. Like, I feel like my skin looks very flawless. So, I mean, my pores are finito. So we will come back tonight and we'll see how it wears. So I'll see you then. All right, guys, final checkout time. It is now 9:32 at night. Our check-in time was 1:05. So we are just about to hit the 8.5 hour mark. So just kind of give you an idea of what's been happening today. Number one, it's been very hot, okay? Very hot and very humid. I've had sunglasses on throughout the day. I have been outside. I've been sweating. I washed 3 cars in this makeup. I got water splashed on me. I got suds and bubbles splashed on me. So needless to say, it's been put through the ringer. Overall, I am pretty impressed with everything. There's nothing I tried today that I just flat out don't like. I have no shine. I'm not greasy. I'm not oily whatsoever. My T-zone is still extremely matte. My pores still look very soft focused, very filled in. Overall, I have a really nice soft matte finish still. Like, it looks pretty much the same in terms of the finish as it did when I, just got done applying it. I have no singage. I have no creasage, like, creasing into lines or anything. Cheap products have held up extremely well. I normally get a lot of wear issues and breakdown right through here because that's where I have the most blemishes. I've always said that it's just like my acne just eats through foundation and cheap products. So that's the place I usually look to see how something wears. And I have very little fading in the bronzer blush region. So whether it's the cheek products or the setting powder, like, it's all on there very well. I will say the thing that I'm probably the least excited about, considering how hyped up it was, is the concealer, because like we saw that it was kind of dulling down and looking kind of more muted after I applied it, which is a good thing considering how stark it was, but I can see some dark circlage. But I will say no creasing. There's no like settling into lines or anything, or creation of lines. Like, my under eyes don't look more dry or more aged or crepey or anything, so that's a plus. But I do see some darkness peeking through. So I'm not as impressed with this as I thought I would be. I don't think it's bad. I think maybe I just need to try a new shade because I mean, for the price and the amount and just the coverage and how a little bit goes such a long way, it is a pretty nice concealer. I just feel like maybe where it's too light, it's just not working with my under eye area where it's a little bit more dark. So yeah, this one's kind of a meh, like, it's okay. Like, I'm willing to try a new shade. In terms of the blushes, I do prefer the pinky shade, this lighter shade over here. I just like the way this looks better. I just feel like this just doesn't look as good on my skin tone. Highlighter's still going pretty strong. Like, I usually don't see my highlighter by this point, so the fact that I can still see exactly where I put it, you can still see that really nice sheen and glow. Very impressed with that. The powder bronzer could have worn better. I see my acne like right through here where the bronzer should be, so I feel like I do have some fading in that region. So Yeah, it could have been better. Let's see, what are the standouts? The pinky blush, the highlighter, the setting spray, and the setting powder. I feel like I need to do some more testing with them. And I've actually had the setting powder for the longest. I've had this in my collection for about 2 months now, but I still feel like I'm kind of like teeter-tottering. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. So I feel like those kinds of products are ones that you really need to test different combinations and different pairings of foundations and concealers and all that stuff before you can really determine if it's going to be like a holy grail favorite of all time, you know? But something's working. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you've tried anything from this brand, I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments below, what you've tried, what your skin type is, the whole shebang. But if you like this video and if you like one brand reviews, so make sure you give this a big old thumbs up. Here's a couple more things you might like next. Just venture around, have a good time. Subscribe if you're not already, and turn the notification bell on to always see my stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.